I Don't Get It podcast.
You guys asked for it, and here we are with it. This is your I Don't Get It podcast, Taylor Swift Reputation album breakdown with Oscar Gracie.
You guys.
Yay!
I don't think you're ready for it. I don't think
Gergie's not ready for it either.
Gergie isn't ready for it.
Okay.
Oscar, I can't believe you're here.
Honestly, I mean, I don't even know how I'm alive after that. Like,
You're
it's been a
celebrity.
whirlwind week.
Well,
It's been
tell
a whirlwind
everyone
week.
what happened yesterday.
Well, you guys, no big deal, but I got a shout out on Taylor Swift's Instagram. I wrote
name is on
my
it.
name, like literally my birth name. I could not believe I wrote an article on Monday after the album came out.
For Access Hollywood. So
yeah,
Oscar works for Access. If you
yeah.
guys don't know who he is, he's been on the
So,
podcast before.
I just had a lot of feelings about this album, and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to write an article about it and just say what I feel. And I literally spent like 4 hours on it just because to be honest, I really
Was it
know
going to
what
be
else.
published?
Yeah, it was going to be. Yeah, I wrote it to be.
That's a good question, actually.
I
Just
wrote
gotta
it
get
for-
all of your emotions out
just
on
for
paper.
myself.
So this wasn't your
Yeah.
Taylor diary. This
No,
was like
it was.
for work.
It was my Taylor diary, but I can guise it for work. I published it, and then one of the producers just sent it to Taylor's publicist. I was just saying, hey, this is what we think. And then her publicist Tree tweeted it out, and of course I follow her publicist because I want to get in with the squad. So I saw that she tweeted, and I freaked out, and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much! Like I love her, and this is from the heart, like a loser." And then like an hour later, I'm at home, and I have notifications for Taylor. I open up Instagram, and it's a quote from my article, and it says Oscar Gracie, Access Hollywood, and she wrote "thank you" with a heart. Granted, she quoted like a lot of critics, but that's the funny thing is they're critics, and then it's just me, a little boy, that like that just wrote about the album. So that's what's so funny about it. It's like Rolling Stone, this like really nice, eloquent quote, and then it's me.
Yours was very
so eloquent.
Oh,
This is
thank
so
you.
eloquent.
Repeat it for our audience.
Oh my god, it was basically, I'm gonna like paraphrase. Taylor Swift's sixth studio album, Reputation, is wait, actually let me pull
pull it
I
up.
don't have my phone. Pull
And
it up.
everyone listening right now, just go to Taylor Swift's Instagram and
Scroll
look
a little
up.
bit, yeah.
Scroll a little bit. Look at all. She posted it last week, and you guys are gonna have to scroll down and just find Oscar's name. But it was just seeing it was
Taylor
the coolest
Swift's
thing
Oh,
ever.
here we go.
hot-blooded sixth studio album, Reputation, is the sign of a confident woman in total control of her creative vision, cementing her status as the artist of a generation.
Honestly,
That's
true.
beautifully written.
Thank
so
you.
well written.
It was like the most dramatic opening sentence. That was the first sentence of my story too. It's like so dramatic, but I'm like, honestly, the world needs to know. I literally said she's better than like Adele in it, and I don't.
I think she's.
I think she's better. I think I said
You
better
guys,
than Adele.
Taylor
pretty
Swift
much.
Yeah,
is
maybe
Michael
not
Jackson
vocally,
reincarnated. To
but-
me, she is the Michael Jackson of our time.
Here's it. Like this is kind of the point I
she
made.
will
that,
play
like,
forever until
Exactly.
she's 97.
Hopefully, she doesn't die in her 50s.
Yes,
Oh,
hopefully
I
that
know.
doesn't happen.
Okay. But like this is what I said in the article is basically that like yeah, Adele sold more in her and like is her vocal power better than Taylor? Yeah, but I think Taylor's star power and like just the public fascination alone with her
Yeah, I
makes
mean-
her the biggest star on the planet.
She is the queen of
Adele,
pop. She's the
Adele
queen of
has
pop.
stage fright. That's nothing for a pop star.
I think like you have to be able to relate to like your music to people. Like they have to be able to like just feel every word. And I feel like Adele has those songs, but like every single Taylor song.
Yeah.
I
and-
also don't equate Adele as like super poppy. Like I don't consider Adele a
No.
pop star. To me, in my mind and Naz's brain, she's like in the Sam Smith category.
Me too. And you know
100%,
what's funny
yeah.
is
know?
that to me, I could do a whole I Don't Get It podcast on Sam Smith and Adele. I'm not a
You don't like their
Me
music? I think it's
either.
weird you wouldn't like their music. I feel like you feel so much
No, I
listening
feel
to
like
I
them.
saw an
whiny
interview
and
with Sam
depressing.
Smith.
I get really
That's-
sleepy.
Yeah, I'm not trying to feel the way that they feel.
Yeah.
Like,
which is heartbroken.
But
it's
Taylor,
a different way
yeah, it's a
of it.
different way.
It's a different way.
Yeah,
I
Sam
agree.
Smith's voice is whiny and too high. Like when I hear him speaking, I'm like, lovely person, very nice. And then he automatically goes into falsetto, and I don't like it.
I don't know.
I like-
That's a
I don't
whole other
trust
podcast.
that. I
but
love
I've
both
been
of them,
thinking
but I
about
love
that this
Taylor
week,
more.
actually.
That's
Anyway.
funny.
Okay.
So I think the general consensus at the table. Well, actually, I don't know actually how you feel about it, Lauren or Ashley, but I love Reputation
So
except
good.
for one song, but the entire album I'm
What's that?
obsessed with.
Yeah, what is it?
The first song, Ready for It.
I don't know
Okay.
why you don't like Ready for It. It's like weird to me.
I don't like Ready for It. I don't care. I feel like when she partners with like Max Martin and all these like Swedish electro DJs, like I think it's cool. She has a lot of electro sound and the album's very cohesive.
But Max Martin isn't like that.
For some reason,
He is the ultimate bubblegum pop.
yeah, but the other guy with him, I was saying Max Martin and the other guy.
don't
It's
know
like
who it
two
is.
of them.
Shellback.
Yeah, Shellback. That's his name.
Okay.
Ready for It for some reason, and even seeing her perform it on SNL, like it didn't do it justice for me. It was a little cringy for me to watch because I feel like it's a big song, so she needs like a lot of dancers with it. But personally, the beat, I just don't love. I think it's weird. She's like rapping, and then it's like a Taylor song in the chorus, like an old Taylor song in the chorus, and then it goes back to rapping. I don't think it knows what it is. I love the lyrics, but I don't like that song. I don't like
a
it.
lot of people agree with you. I don't. I think that it's like it really. I think it's on the album, and it's the first track on the album based on the title alone. I think it's just so dramatic. Like, are you ready for it? Meaning, are you ready for like the rest of this album? And it's a good. I think that's why she chose it as a single too,
Right.
just so she could use like the lyrics from it in the promo.
Right.
I don't think it's the best song on Reputation, but I think it's fun. Like, I don't think it's even one of her best songs, anywhere near one of her best songs, but I just think it's a fun
Well,
song.
that's what I mean. I think I love the lyric. I can appreciate
Yeah.
it. Let the games begin. I get why it's number
Yeah.
one. The lyrics aren't bad. It's the beat and like the rapping and all that I don't
Yeah.
like. But I like her rapping in Endgame. It's
Yeah.
just Ready for Its beat is so like, it sounds like a bad Katy Perry song to me.
I gotta tell you about this free web browser extension. It's available on Chrome, Firefox, Safari. That is effortless, and it saves you time and money while shopping online at tens of thousands of stores. It's going to make sure that you get the best deal there is out there. So, for example, I went on Honey. It's called Honey. I went on Honey, downloaded it, and I typed in smart water because Lauren and I love smart water so much. But it's the most expensive water, you know? So I was out there trying to find the best deal on smart water, and I found it because of Honey. It's always going to get you the best prices. It's going to show you if you can get the same item for less from a different seller, even factoring in Amazon Prime, shipping, and all that. Honey has already saved hundreds of millions of dollars for over 6 million members. There's a lot of people out there using it. That's how good this site is. There's no reason not to join today. It'll literally take you 2 clicks to start saving money. Join Honey today for free at joinhoney, JOIN, honey, HONEY.com/getit, GETIT. That is joinhoney.com/getit. All right, back to Tay Tay.
Okay, well, anyways, I wanted to ask Oscar if this is his favorite album to date.
From Taylor?
From Taylor.
Okay.
I mean, the only albums that matter are Taylor Swift albums.
Right, exactly.
I agree.
And Harry
God.
Styles album.
Well,
It's a different thing.
It's a different, 100%. God, I think Red is still my favorite album just because I think that for anyone who's sensitive, like that album is just like so iconic because it's a whole spectrum of like intense emotion, which like us, you know. But I think Reputation is so, I like it better than 1989. I would say that it's my second favorite out of all her albums.
So Red and then...
So
I would say Red then Reputation.
I agree with you completely because I think Red will always be the most nostalgic for me, but I'm not really sure if it was because of what I was going through in my life when it came out or whether it just gives you those warm and fuzzy feelings by nature. It's probably a combination of both.
Yeah.
But then Speak Now, I feel like it's very underrated, and I think like if given another year, I don't know what Grammy it went up against, but I really feel like that one also could have won Album of the Year, and I feel like this one's going to do it again.
Yeah, I
But
think
this is much better than 1989 in my opinion.
I think so too. I think it's more like
It's more cohesive.
it's more cohesive, and I think it's just she has more to say than like with 1989 is basically all about Harry, and her relationship with Harry was like short, and like that album was basically like losing Harry, then her finding herself, and then this album is like the stakes were so much higher. I think that's why this album is so much better because she literally like was slammed by everyone, and then if you read her in her album booklet, there's all this poetry that she wrote, and it's like dark shit. It's like it's stuff about how like she just felt so alone and how she didn't like herself. So it's so much deeper, I think, like everything that she went through in this album. So I think that's why the
It also
result
took
is
2
so
more
much,
years to write, so
Yeah.
it better be
Well, it
fucking
took
good.
an extra year than normal.
Yeah.
That's what I
Right.
meant, yeah. We gotta take a break from Taylor Swift for just a second so I can talk about something that's changed my life. I know what time it is. Thanks to Movement Watches. MVMT Movement Watches started with 2 broke college kids that wanted to wear stylish watches but couldn't afford them, so they started their own watch company. I totally get that. I'm a broke adult, and I know that lots of girls have problems with dating, so we started a podcast. You know, you do what you got to do to help people out. So they're helping us out by starting this affordable watch company.
Lauren's super picky about anything she wears. She thinks everything's lame, but she actually thinks these movement watches are pretty darn cool.
Yeah, they make an outfit. They make you not look homeless, which is really important when you don't brush your extensions for a really long time and you wear the same sweatshirt 4 days in a row. So you got to look not homeless. Okay, so get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementmvmt.com/getitgetit. This watch has really clean design and makes a great fashion statement.
It's time to step up your watch game, guys.
Go to movementmvmt.com/getitgetit and join the movement.
I can't believe it's been 3 years since
I know.
1989. That's insane. It feels like 2. Okay, so
Favorite track?
Favorite track.
I think this album is interesting because half of it makes you want to kill a man, and the other half makes you want to make out with a man. So, that's at first just the idea of Reputation. After look what you made me doing Ready For It, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be the album I'm going to kill a man to. I'm going to get revenge, and this is going to be it. I'm going to extract snake venom for some viper and shove it into someone's water supply. I was ready,
right.
But then we got songs like Delicate and Dress, and I'm like, oh my God, I want a boyfriend. So,
And King of My Heart.
And King of My Heart. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I keep going back and forth. So I have a favorite badass song and then a favorite I Need a Boyfriend song. So my favorite I Need a Boyfriend song is Delicate by far. It's
Delicate's
so
almost
pretty.
everyone's favorite.
It's so pretty.
It's such a good written song, and the beat's so good.
It's so good, and just the little detail. It's still old Taylor the way it was written, but then the beat is so new and fresh, and I'm just oh, it's so good. And then I would say my badass song is I Did Something Bad, just because that's what you want to burn your ex's house down to. I think 100%. And as the cops are dragging you, that's how I picture it in my head. As the cops are dragging you away, that song is playing in the background.
You're so what were your thoughts on Taylor, saying that the old Taylor's dead, and her kind of putting one ballad on the album at the very end to kind of remind everyone, I think, right, that she's not completely gone.
Yeah, I think that it's the old Taylor's dead. Now that we have Reputation, it's more of literally her reputation, the public perception of her was dead. And then now looking back at the music video with all the old Taylors, it wasn't that she was killing off all these versions of herself. It's more of the public perception of who she was at each of these stages. She was the dorky girl from You Belong With Me. She was the innocent country girl. She was the girl who was on stage in a dress and got, interrupted. It's more of the concepts of who she is more than her actual self. So I think that's what's really interesting. It's not she's killing her actual artistic self. It's more of it's kind of more of a rebirth, I think, is how I picture it.
I love her ballads personally. I like them more than these kind of songs on Reputation. Even though I do love Reputation, but I would prefer a bunch of just songs like New Year's Day on an album here from her. But I love that she finally gave us an answer to all the Calvin Harris and Kanye West shit. She still included all the juiciness and gave us what we needed, even though it wasn't on an acoustic writtenly.
I know.
Song,
I do feel that New Year's Day it's weird. Every time I go through the album, I listen to it straight. I'm no, love this new stuff, and then it leaves me off with New Year's Day, which makes me go, oh wait, maybe I still need more of that.
I think the good thing about that though is she knows that she can go back to it whenever she wants. That's always going to be, even when she writes the songs that are pop, she writes them with guitar and piano.
Right, the original lyrics gorgeous when AT&T uploaded that video. I love the acoustic. I just like that Taylor so much more. I just really do, because I think she's such a fucking good lyricist that her words get lost in these poppy songs, the sentimental value gets
we don't
lost.
need to
Sentimental
see the bottom line is you don't need to see her moving to the songs. As long as you don't see her dancing with her arms in the air, I'm good.
See, it's funny that Lauren feels so awkward and Naz feels so awkward watching her dance. I don't, but Lauren always tells me that I dance like Taylor.
No
So
shit.
like,
Yeah,
I
you
no
do
wonder why
dance
I'm
like
not.
Taylor.
I don't feel awkward. For
I
this.
don't find Taylor awkward dancing like 1989 or having her hands up for that. It's songs like Ready
Right,
for It where
yeah.
I feel like it's just so far from who I think she is.
Yeah.
But again, who knows? Who knows who Taylor really
So
is?
all the love songs and romantic songs on this album, are they all about her current boyfriend?
I think 100%, because in Secret
Talk
Sessions
about
too.
Joe Alwyn and who he is.
God, who even is?
He's
like,
a
who
British
even-
actor
yeah.
that he's honestly amazing in bed, clearly,
He must
based
have a
on
big-
all the
Yeah.
lyrics.
He
that
looks
she's-
like this small little innocent boy.
I know he looks so, and I
his
love that.
eyes are so blue.
So blue, and I love that
Yeah.
she makes a point of talking about how much younger he is than her exes and
How
all
much?
this.
Was it like a year and a half, 2 years?
Well,
He's like
younger
younger
than
than
her
her.
exes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
'Cause, like,
yeah.
Tom was like 28, Calvin was
Right.
like 20. But I think that's just so funny. But yeah, I mean, like apparently Emma Stone is the one that introduced them because Emma was working on a movie with Joe.
Okay.
And that's literally the
Oh.
only connection to. And then they also met at the Met Gala.
Wait.
Wait, I thought that was
thought that was
Tom. I
about-
thought
No,
Getaway Car
oh my
was
God,
about
you got
Tom.
it is
Well,
about
right,
Tom,
Tom is
but
about Car- yeah.
but then if you go when in Dress,
Yeah.
flashback when you met me, your buzz cut and my hair bleached.
Yeah, I knew that was
Yeah.
referring to the Met too. But
Yeah,
I didn't know
Joe.
that was.
That's when
met
they
at the
first met.
Gala?
Yeah. So basically,
Why
I found
was
out
he there.
Well, he was there with for some movie. He was with some other Garrett Hudlin. But it's so funny because like all the paparazzi photos are it's like Garrett Hudlin, then like a tiny little bit of jokes. No one knew who he was or cared. So that's what's so funny.
Wait,
about
I'm
people
confused
care.
about my favorite song now, which is Getaway Car.
Getaway-
because
so-
I
No,
thought
That's
she
100% Calvin
Yeah,
Harris
it's still
going on to
Tom.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
So,
but
let's
then where does
clarify.
Joe fall into
So
it?
the timeline is
He
kind
does.
of
He's
crazy.
not in Getaway.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's not
okay.
in it. What happened, and I found this out just from like the girls that went to Secret Session, basically, and like where she actually like, talked about the music. Cause,
You know girls who went to the secret session?
yeah, I know a lot of them.
What? I mean,
Yeah.
only
What?
200
How? Did
people
you reach
went.
out to them?
No, because I don't know, because I have a lot of like friends that are like the Tumblr girls.
So
and then-
everyone listening, Taylor invited people to something called Secret Sessions to listen to the album before it came out, and that's what we're referring to.
So basically, she and in there, like she hasn't talked about the songs at all to anyone besides the fans of Secret Sessions, basically.
Right.
And so most of the album is about Joe, and then the kind of like the timeline is that she first saw Joe and thought he was so attractive, but like she didn't actually like do anything with him, like. And so that must have been the Met Gala. So instead, she focused on Tom, which makes sense with Getaway Car. But then once she ended things with Tom, like she finally went to pursue Joe. And in Gorgeous, when she references Hollywood and Vine or
Yeah.
Sunset and Vine,
Yeah.
So Sunset and Vine, it's the ArcLight. Joe had a premiere at the ArcLight. Taylor wasn't invited, but she showed up because she couldn't like get him off her mind.
So
basically.
she
Yeah.
pursued
What?
Joe?
Yeah.
I
So
love
that's
this
like,
story.
Yeah, that's what the Secret Session.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And those are like two of my top favorites.
So that's
Gorgeous
why
and
I
Getaway.
think the timeline is so crazy because like I think she probably distracted herself with Tom. Just like
she
after
looked at
Calvin.
him like a rebound then. And
Yeah.
she went to him and not Joe.
Yeah, and I think that kind of makes sense with Getaway Car, the fact that she talks about she needed a reason to run, and then she ended up. You should have known that I was going to end up leaving you because that's what
Right.
traitors do. So that like fits in with that song.
Don't you feel like Getaway Car has the most obvious lyrics directed towards certain people? That's
Yeah.
why I think I'm so obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because it's so it's so creatively written.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how she could do that with every song, which makes me so mad, you know?
What I love is that she says, like, think about the place where you first met me.
I
like,
know.
Met Gala,
Yeah.
guys. And, like,
Right.
that's insane. And she must have left early. She must have left the Met
Yeah.
Gala early. She must have been like, hey, leaving, bye.
Yeah.
And she needed a reason to leave Calvin.
Yeah.
We should go back to Calvin for a second, though. So isn't I Did Something Bad her whole, like, song to Calvin? Isn't that, like, the Calvin
with
feud?
that,
or no?
I think it's not even like that. I think it's kind of a combination of everyone trying to end her, basically, and that's like her response to basically Calvin, Kim, Kanye, Katie, like everyone
Everyone.
kind of just like ganging up on her. She's like, okay, you think I did something bad, then I'm gonna write a song as if I did do something bad, and I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna be the person you guys think the manipulating snake that you think I am, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I planned all of it, I'm the manipulator, and I loved it, and that's why I love that. It's like Blank Space times like 10,
Right.
because it's like the dark twisted
Yeah,
version
it's like
of it.
owning up to her,
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, So I am a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I love it.
So before we got here, you guys were we were discussing in a group thread about the dress theory. And I looked up the lyrics to Dress, and I'm like, maybe
now
it
you
is
think?
about Carly Kloss,
Okay,
everyone.
so Becca and I were hanging out last night, and she's convinced that Dress is about Carly Kloss because, as we know, Carly is a good friend of Taylor's. And about 2 years ago, Lauren wasn't at a
It was at a 1975 concert,
Yeah.
and that bitch stole my man for the night, okay?
Taylor did.
Taylor stole Maddie Healy.
Yeah, you
from
guys may
me.
not know, but Taylor definitely hooked up with Maddie
She
Healy.
had sex with Maddie Healy. I had sex with Maddie Healy the night after.
Oh,
Did
wow.
you really?
The
Oh,
night. Oh, was it
A
not the
way
night
to
after?
just put it out there. We can get a headline from this one.
Well, there we go. There you go, everyone. Yeah.
Yes, Lauren.
I got Taylor Swift sloppy seconds, and I was happy about it.
Yeah, like the penis that
That
was
is
inside
so
Lauren
crazy.
was inside Taylor Swift as well.
Wait, so how
pretty
does that
crazy.
connect to Carly
Okay, so
Kloss?
that night at the 1975 concert, they were in the balcony,
Who's they?
Carly Kloss and Taylor Swift,
Okay.
and they were like making
The
out.
day of your concert? Or
The day of the concert I was supposed to go to that more I decided not to go to because Taylor was cramping our style. We're obviously weren't going to have sex with him that night, so we went the next night.
This is how we think.
Wait, so Taylor and Carly were making out?
Yeah, they were kissing and stuff.
I don't.
Wait,
it's
what?
debatable. It's debated.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
alleged, right?
It's alleged. There are pictures of
You
them.
said it like as if they were
I
totally.
know.
You were
I
like,
thought you were like the
There
I
were
Wendy
articles-
Wendy
There were
Williams.
articles
You are Wendy Williams.
everywhere. Okay,
But did you see them make out?
I didn't go to that concert.
Okay.
But
So
if
they
you go
didn't.
look it up, if you go look
You
it
go
up, they
look
were
it
like
up.
touchy-feely, really close to
But
each other's
also,
faces.
it's like
Wait, so get to the theory. So
Yeah.
what's the
Theory is that the song Dress is about Taylor making out or doing whatever she does with Carly Kloss because it says, I don't want you like a best friend.
Yeah.
And like,
she's never best friends with her guys before she dates them. This ain't no Demi
No,
Lovato.
she's saying, I don't want you as a
Yeah.
best friend. I want you as my man.
Yeah.
Like, she's so over
I
having
know, it's
pe-
just a
That's like-
theory, everyone. I'm just thinking it's
Yeah.
really interesting. Like, a lot of it is about like a friend that you've known for a while and like you've been silenced and patiently pining, anticipating.
yeah,
And,
and we don't know a guy that Taylor's been like that over.
Joe. We don't
Yeah.
know Joe, but it's about Joe.
yeah. I just think that like
Well, Oscar and I think it's
Yeah.
about
See,
Joe.
Because
we don't know
flashback
what
to my
it's about.
mistakes, my rebounds, my earthquakes. Like that seems like something you go through with like a best friend.
yeah. But what's the line before that?
Oh, Oscar.
Say my name. Oh wait, no.
With your hand in my hair, right?
Flashback to my mistakes. Even in my worst times, you could see the best of me.
Yeah, and it just
Yeah, your buzz cut. Carly Kloss never had a buzz
See,
cut.
Got it. Here's the thing. The thing that I love about Reputation so much is that people hate on Taylor for being girl next door, right? Which is so dumb a reason to hate on her. But I feel like this album, she's really shown us that she's a woman now because she talks about guys with hands in her hair
Yeah.
and writing her name on a bedpost
Yeah,
and like
she's no virgin.
right, but she's never sang like this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
She's
That's
always
true.
sang like she is a virgin and like she is the girl next door.
Yeah.
And now she's singing like
She's
I don't
drunk
give a
and
fuck.
she has sex.
She's drunk.
She's
she has
drinking.
sex.
She's drinking a lot in this album.
like every song. I love it.
And I'm like, damn, I love this new Taylor. Maybe old Taylor really is dead in that sense because she's much more salacious this time around.
Speaking of Taylor looking very comfortable in her own skin, gotta say it, guys. Maybe she's using BioClarity. I mean, it's a wonderful system with no harsh, weird chemicals. You guys know I love it because it doesn't use benzoyl peroxide, which always causes me redness, dryness, and irritation. But instead, it calms my skin. And now, for those of you who don't want the whole system, you can just use BioClarity Hydrate. It hydrates your skin with this lightweight, breathable, oil-free moisturizer that has been designed for even the most sensitive skin like mine. My skin loves it. I don't get any sort of reaction from it that's negative. It just feels plump and hydrated. This skin smoothie has Floralux in it that's going to soften and hydrate your skin, minimize the appearance of those gross pores, and even skin tone, texture, and reduce redness. It can be used alone or in combination with the BioClarity system like I just mentioned. You guys know what to do by now. Head over to bioclarity.com and our listeners will get their first month for only $9.95 plus free shipping. That's a $20 savings and it comes with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. But you need to enter our code GET IT. You guys, 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, return it. And you're done, no big deal. Bioclarity.com, enter the code GET IT. Finally, an acne treatment that works. All right, I think that Taylor may be using it because she's just looking so glowy. Let's talk about her style and how it's evolved with each album and basically with each boyfriend.
Yeah. Iconic. I mean,
Iconic.
I personally could not be happier that she moved from crop tops from 1989 to just sweatshirts with no pants and Reputation.
I mean, it makes us feel like
it makes me
do that.
feel so good. Just like I love that, and I love that she gained weight too. Like she
does.
her body just looks like
Her face is definitely, you could tell she's gained weight in her face since 1989.
and I love
for
it.
sure.
And I feel like she just likes herself.
She's
a lot
probably
more.
eating a lot because she's so happy
Her
with
boyfriend
Joe.
makes her
Yeah.
feel
It's
comfortable.
It's not, I think she's comfortable in who she is too. Like on her own,
Yeah.
she's just happy.
She just seems, and she seems like more muscular even too. Like she just seems like, because when she wears, like she wore a crop top at SNL and her stomach is still flat. It's not like she's big at all, but she's just like, her body just like is muscular and like toned, and it's just like, it's just like fit, and I just love it. Oh, and her hair, I like her hair now too. I was kind of like on the fence about it at first, but I like how it is now.
I really like it now. I didn't like how it was in 1989 when she was like being like Anna Wintour and it was too short
towards the
and
end
like
of
the straight. And I'm like,
1989,
what in the
yeah.
world are you doing?
I
can tell-
loved her 1989 style.
I like the first like the tail end of 1989 was when she like went
Clean.
like, when she like cut and became like the Anna Wintour and like they got bleach and all this stuff. I feel like, but also thinking about it now when you kind of know what she went through with Calvin, it's like it kind of makes sense. Like your relationship's getting crazy and then you just like do stuff with your hair.
Right.
Like every time something goes wrong with me, I'm like, what's the best thing I can control? And like my hair.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
interesting.
Yeah. So now I'm like, oh no, it just makes sense.
I do think that the flannels and stuff are like representation of her just being comfortable in like every aspect of
and
her
just
life.
secure and like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, me too. And I love the fact that she's not wearing makeup. Obsessed with that, but that's probably because like I don't wear makeup half the week.
It's just like an excuse.
Yeah.
to,
And
like,
I still think she looks great without it.
Wait, did you
And-
say you don't wear makeup?
yeah, like half the week?
Oh, half the week. I was like, I don't think people know that listening.
No, half the week. And it's just like I don't know. She's just like so comfy, and I feel like very approachable right now.
Yeah.
Whereas at the beginning of the album release, I'm like, oh, are we even gonna know like the actual Taylor behind the music anymore, or is she just gonna release music and just gonna be like a stage show, and she's not gonna talk to us?
Right.
But she's been like very conversational.
It is what we predicted though. Like when the video came out, that she was gonna. This first song is so different from like.
Yeah.
Because I think "Look What You Made Me Do," even though I love it, it's probably one of the weakest songs on the album.
But isn't that the Shake It Off? Like, it's the
We Are Never Getting Back Together.
That's
It's the Shake It
last
Off.
song she'll perform on tour, right? Like that'll be
and
the
it's like one of
ender?
those songs, you know, where it's like it really is the conversation starter, like which is, and then the rest of the album is like
Right.
so much better.
They were
and
so
much
smart
deeper.
to release it first.
I really want them to do "I Did Something Bad" as a single though, because it's like "Look What You Made Me Do," but it's like it's just more mature and much more mainstream.
I want
than
Delicate and
I feel
Getaway.
very
Delicate.
good listening to "I Did Something Bad."
Yeah.
I just feel
Me
really
too.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then when she gets sent, they're burning all the witches, even if you aren't one. So light me up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Can we break down the "This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things" lyrics? Because
Yes,
that's
please.
iconic.
There's
It's
so
the
much
Kanye
in there.
feud, right?
I love. Well,
There's
I
a
think
lot of
there's a
Kanye
lot.
on the album. Like, look,
I think it's
I did
just
something bad.
Call it what you want. I did something bad, and this is why we can't have nice things. But this is why we can't have nice things is mainly about Kanye,
Well,
right?
I think because I went through the freaking album booklet a million times, and then in her introductions to the albums are always like really dramatic. Like the Red one was so dramatic about like it takes her one for Red was "Loving is so short, forgetting is so long." Like a quote from Rumi.
Right. Go, come back. Album. She used to put like the little letters in there. And you would do
yeah.
the secret, no secrets.
No,
this
she
time
just
around.
had like the introduction. Like she wrote an introduction, and that was it.
in the Target booklet.
In the the regular one.
So
yeah.
if it's downloaded, I can just go look in the book.
Yeah. She
Okay,
wrote like
not
an
in the
introduction.
magazine.
No, the magazine just has the poems, which are the poems are a whole thing altogether. They're pretty dark.
Wow.
I was reading. I was like, oh my, these are sad. Which we should talk about later because it's just like, oh, there's a lot there. But
Right.
what were you even talking about?
This Is Why We
This Is Why I Can't have these things.
You said Red started with love.
Oh yeah, so Red started with like a really dramatic intro, and then this one is like
yeah, I
you
remember that.
right. It was like so inspiring.
Oh, it
even.
was so. She spoke directly at me. in that
Yeah.
moment.
What did she say?
Ugh, I may have to pull that up.
Yeah, it was just this, basically like she began with a quote that was said, "Love is so short, forgetting is so long," and I was like, "It's
Yeah.
so true."
Aww.
Yeah, and then because that really just sums up the whole album, even though
Yeah,
like her relationship
so
with
That
Jake
Sex
was
and the City
short.
quote, if you date for 2 months, it takes how long? Twice as
twice
long to
as
get
long.
over.
To
Yeah,
get over someone.
it's
Yeah.
so true.
The
And
reason
then-
why she's just such a genius. Like, and her songs and her albums are the reality shows of music because she's one
she's
of the only musicians that perfectly explains her relationships and how she felt in every song, and we're following it.
Yeah.
And they're real people, and that's why she's killing it. That's why she's the only artist that's going to be she's the only artist that sold 3 albums, 1 million of her last 3 albums in the first week.
Yeah.
And she's on track to do that this week.
Yeah,
with
she
this
did it
album.
today. It's
I
already
would
at
love to have a
1.1.
hater on here and just be like, why don't you like her? And then just tear
I
them
really want to
down.
know. I think most people love Kanye and Kim, but also you don't have to pick.
You don't
I
have
love
to.
both of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are like the biggest team. We are the biggest supporters of both teams,
Yeah.
which is bizarre.
Yes. No, I don't think it's bizarre. I think it's weird that. So, did you guys know that on Friday, Kanye fans started Hey Mama Day? So, Kanye West's mom, Donda West, she died 10 years ago on Friday. So,
Okay.
they thought that Taylor released Reputation
Oh my
in spite of it, which is
God.
such a
Crazy.
stretch.
Come on.
So, because of that, they streamed Kanye's song Hey Mama, and they actually got 700,000 streams to prevent Reputation from being the
Okay.
top thing streamed. But luckily, one thing interesting that I learned about that whole thing is that Spotify actually has software to detect when people just do this.
Oh.
So they know that you're
Oh.
not playing the song 1 billion times on your own. So it didn't work.
That's very interesting.
But it's just the shade is so fucking real these days.
Yeah.
Like Katy Perry fans hate Taylor and Taylor fans hate Kanye fans, and it's like
people
you
just
can
hate
just
greatness,
like
you know?
all music.
Just
It's
like,
so weird.
So it's popular. Just enjoy it, you know?
See, I'm crazy, and I do not like Kanye after everything.
But
with-
you're
or
allowed to
Katy.
not like Kanye, and you're allowed to not like Katy. I don't specifically
don't like
love
Katy.
Katy, but like. Would you stream a song 1 million times just so Katie's song wouldn't be to the top, or like would you go to those lengths to like maybe?
Maybe I wouldn't rule it out. I really wouldn't rule it
That
out.
is hilarious.
I would do it, especially when Taylor like released her albums on Spotify when Katy Perry's album came
Yeah,
out.
that
I
was
like,
so
Remember when that happened?
She's too cool.
Lauren,
I
remember
love
that
it.
day we were driving around and I was so happy. I'm
Yeah.
like, I get to listen to Taylor all day today.
I loved it. I'm like, yes, God, I love it. But that's why, and this is what this is why we can't have nice things. I think it's so good because it's like I honestly don't even think it's just about Kanye and Kim because back to like
Well,
the
so what do you
introduction.
think it's about? Yeah, let's
Well,
just.
the introduction, she was like, she specifically said like, as soon as I release this album, there's going to be gossip blogs that are going to dictate like which each lyric is about, but which man each song is about, as if these songs have like paternity tests. And
Wow,
yeah,
that's interesting. 'Cause
she,
it could be about other women.
So, but that's why I think it's interesting because I feel like a song like that's why we can't have nice things is more kind of like I did something bad where it's like a mixture of everything. That's like the first half I feel like is almost kind of Calvin-y a little bit just because it's like it was nice playing Gatsby for that year or whatever.
Okay, I just
I
want
think
to.
this is a mix of people.
Can I
Yeah.
just stop for a second? That she's so fucking good. I would hate to break up with Taylor Swift because when she wrote Dear John, it sounds like a John Mayer song. And I did something bad. The reason why I think it's all about Calvin, even though I know you disagree, is because it sounds like a Calvin Harris song.
What's funny
and
is
she's
like,
a genius for doing that.
Because for me, the sounds I hear that song more than any other on the album. That is a Jack Antonoff song, 1000%.
no,
Sounds
Jack
like fun.
Antonoff is the ones that I love that sound more like the old Taylor. Getaway Car, Delicate. Like those are the
New
Jack
Year's Day.
New
It
Year's
sounds
Day.
like fun.
Those are the Jack Antonoff songs.
I don't think we can talk about production, everyone.
Okay, but also,
what do you mean? This
how
is why we
much
can't
is
have
it-
nice things, or I did something bad?
nice things.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we were talking about I did something bad.
Yeah.
Sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
sorry.
Calvin song.
No. Look, we can't have nice things. It's
Yeah, that's
obviously
very. It's
Jack
like
Antonoff.
it's very Lordy too.
I was
yeah.
just gonna say, and did he produce for Lord at all?
Yeah, he produced
There you go. I
Yeah.
mean, that song is just like
Yeah.
a replica.
Yeah, but I like that first chorus where
It says, it was so
yeah.
nice throwing big parties,
the-
jump into the pool from the balcony, everyone swimming in a champagne sea, and there were no rules when you show up here. Bass beat rattling the chandelier, feeling so Gatsby for that whole
which
year.
is like that's why I feel like that's kind of a lot of the people that were in Bad Blood or the Squad or whatever, like a lot of those people turned on her after the whole drama with Kanye and Kim on like I know Zendaya was like favoriting mean tweets about her. Like it was like a lot of her friends like unfollowed her on Instagram.
Who else
all this
turned
stuff.
on her? Can you tell everyone?
Zendaya was one.
I feel like
Soraya
she
was
said
one.
Zendaya was like, I've only met Taylor once.
No, that was
Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, like a lot of all of a sudden when it was cool to like associate with Taylor, like they associated with her, and then when it wasn't, they like disassociated and like we're favoring like petty tweets
That's
and
why
stuff.
it said.
Did anyone else aside from Zendaya? Who else was like on that list?
Zendaya, Soraya, she was in Bad Blood. Even Sam Smith was faving like mean tweets about
Really?
Taylor. Yeah,
I
Reese
didn't know
Witherspoon.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Reese Witherspoon recently did.
Recently
Did?
again, yeah.
I've never
Yes.
liked Reese Witherspoon.
I
What
just
the
don't trust her.
heck?
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like people turned on her when it like wasn't cool to like her anymore.
But why? Why do you think that is? Like, do you think that Taylor's done something personally to these people, like recent stuff?
I think it's more of like I honestly think it's more of like the narrative because especially
The
how long
narrative
ago-
she never wanted to be a part
because
of.
it became. Well, the sad thing is, it did become more of like a race thing, like more of a political thing with Taylor, just because she's quiet and like doesn't say anything.
Well, I
Wait,
So-
race? You mean as in like color?
Yeah, because it's like seeing like her feud with like Kanye West is like a race thing.
What were your thoughts on the whole white supremacy thing that came out?
I hated that.
Me too. I hated it.
I hate it.
That is insane.
I got so angry.
Wait,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know what that
This
is.
was something we didn't talk about yet last week, and while we usually don't bring things like this up on the podcast, I do want to read this because I thought it was
Well, someone
so lame.
Someone wrote about Taylor and specifically the "Look What You Made Me Do" video and correlated it with white supremacy.
Yeah.
And then Taylor's PR team, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone, reached out to the person that wrote this. I think it was on Fox News. Was it on Fox? I think it was Fox that published it on their website.
Yeah, one of
and
them.
so they reached out and said, "Can you take this down?" And then went to the ALCU, which I don't know what the ALCU is, but apparently they're the racist police or something, or they could have potentially asked this woman to take it down. And they threw Taylor so much shade in their response and said, no, a celebrity should be able to shake things off that they read on the internet. And they used another Taylor lyric or something.
American Civil Liberties Union.
Thank
Yeah.
you. But what do they do? Does anyone know?
They make sure people have their civil liberties.
I guess, but the fact that they would have the power to take down an article is crazy. I never knew that that there was an organization that could do that.
I think it's like that blogger went to them to get the support to fight back against.
But then they
the-
said this is
Oh,
bullshit.
the blogger went to the ALCU?
Yeah, because they wanted-
Before Taylor went to them?
I think no. Taylor's lawyers just asked just sent it to the blogger to ask to take it down, and then the
okay.
blogger didn't know what to do because it's like. So then she went to them.
Okay,
yeah.
so then that's the correct
yeah,
version.
because she thought it was like she thought the
So
freedom.
the I have to read it to you.
ACLU.
ACLU said the shadiest quote. Do you have it up, Lauren?
Towards who?
To Taylor.
Really?
So
Yeah.
the correct story, the correct version is the blogger wrote this stuff about Taylor white supremacy and the video and Look What You Made Me Do when she's standing over, like all those people, and I don't know, they're linking her to supporting white supremacy.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
this is all bullshit.
exactly. But in America, you're allowed to pretty much write about whatever you want. So
Right.
then when they asked her to take it down, that girl that wrote it went to this organization. And the organization said, no, Taylor, you should be able to shake things off.
okay,
Things are going to
okay,
be
okay.
written about your reputation or something
Yeah,
like
Okay,
that.
well,
that.
her not being able to handle it is one thing, but the accusation that it's white supremacy is absolutely bananas. What I was talking about was this annoying tweet that I came across last week that was like had a lot of favorites and like a lot of retweets. When I mean that, I mean like thousands of retweets. Like one of those things that like 20.2,
Right.
Thousands, K, whatever. So it says Taylor Swift it had the gif or like a meme of Beyonce or Rihanna or somebody like that being like, someone had to say it, like, whatever, next to it, along with these facts that say, Taylor Swift just released Reputation, her first album since 2014's 1989. It's culturally irrelevant. We live in an age of anxiety and political turmoil, and yet Taylor just wants to talk about herself. Narcissism falls short of the work of the other great artists this year. And I'm like, now this girl is getting shit for writing about her life instead of writing about our culture, like our political culture? what?
Like, don't you need
Like,
to
now
escape from
We can't
political
talk about
Yeah.
romantic love, and we
Yeah.
can't talk
No
about
one can
like
follow
our
love
own
anymore.
Isn't that what
because-
entertainment's supposed to do?
Yes.
Make you forget about your life
Yes.
for a second?
Why-
Isn't that why
yeah.
people go to the movies
People
and
would
listen to
argue that
music?
art is
TV.
supposed to reflect culture, but love and all of like the things that we go through in our own personal lives is also our culture.
Yeah, it's both.
It's just insane just because no artist gets the flack that she does, and it's just because
she's on
she's
top.
her. And because
She's on top.
there's
She's
like
number one.
people are so eager to take her down because her track record is so clean.
Yeah.
Like there's besides the Kim thing, like there really is no receipts at all that she's problematic. Like
Right.
from the beginning, she has worked so hard to make sure that there's no one can flack her for anything. You know, as far there's no and scandals really tied to her. There's never nude photos. There's never sex scandals. There's never anything. Like she played it so clean and went so out of her way to do it. And then I think that's what made her like go dark on reputations because she worked like over 10 years to not
build
have
a
to
good
build it up.
reputation.
Like she went above and beyond, like with the fans, with everything. Like she worked so hard, and then to have people come up with like fake receipts and
Yeah.
tear all the 10 years of hard work down.
She shouldn't be punished for like working hard at her
Yeah.
career and looking like a good role model. Like I don't care about people like, oh my god, but she's on top. She controls the music industry. It's like she controls the music industry because she's good at what she does and she works hard at it. Like
Yeah.
you deserve good things when you work hard at things.
Yeah, and it's not
So-
fair when like there's people like Katie or Justin Bieber where they're on tape or they're saying like the N word, they're saying all this like damaging, hurtful stuff, but no one's bringing, especially Justin, like people are so quick to forgive him and people are so quick to forgive like the men, but Taylor has the slightest slip up and then it's like everyone's just trying to gang up on her, take her down. It's so crazy.
She's so amazing that she's so easy to hate, and I hate when people hate on her for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like I really would love to know. Can you guys
Yeah,
like
and
please
also, like-
DM me and let me know why you hate Taylor? Because I actually want to know.
And
Yeah.
she does have a big team behind her. Like I'm sure she has a lot of people helping her.
I'm sure she has like an Olivia Pope on her team,
yeah,
which
which
Yeah.
is
prevents
fine.
scandals
Like
from
hire a
happening.
good publicist. I don't care, but like you're doing a good job musically, and that's
Yeah.
what you're designed to do.
She's the most talented person.
Yeah, it's just like it's really just so insane how everyone, even like the argument that I keep seeing on like Twitter recently too is like people are like retweeting her sales numbers and saying, "Oh, just because McDonald's sells 1 million hamburgers doesn't mean it's gourmet."
Okay, that
and
is
it's like
so
People
insane.
tweeted that?
yeah, and it has like you
It's
said, thousands of
so
retweets.
Insane because are you listening to this album? Like, I don't care if pop music isn't your thing. Like, it is expertly crafted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I disagree with that in a sense. I don't disagree with what you just said, but I think people are allowed to hate her music. I just don't get why people hate her.
I think people
I
are
think you
hating
can
on
hate
her. I think that
anything.
they're hating on her music because of
her.
where
Because
it's
they
coming
hate
from.
her.
But
Yeah.
if you didn't know where it was coming from,
Be
then
like,
they would never
listen
say
to this.
anything.
It's from an underground artist.
Yeah.
Hush, hush. They'd like it because they think it's cool.
I think it's fine to like not like her music. I just think it's another
Yeah.
thing to argue that she's like a lot of people argue that she is just like a blip in the music history. Like
knows that
she's
she's
not
a blimp anymore.
Like
A blip.
So there's that, or the fact that her music is gonna not long lasting or culturally important and stuff, which is just wrong because like out of a lot of young artists, like she's already won 10 Grammys.
Yeah.
You know, and
She sings about love, which is the most universal thing in the world. It's like what we sit here and talk about every day. It's what everyone wants in the world, to be loved. And she sings about heartbreak.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't think that that's like helping people around the world, like,
I mean, if you only like
That's
Or
rap,
crazy
being
to
awkward
think.
around gorgeous guys. You know, it's like something.
if
we
you like
go
only
through.
like rap or heavy metal, then I understand why you don't like Taylor Swift. Okay, that's it. But like,
Anyway, we got really deep there, but I do want to go back to call it what you want. Oh, not call it what you want. This is why we can't have nice
Oh,
things
yeah.
because that's where this all evolved from.
yeah.
Because we started bringing up Kanye and everything.
if you're listening to this, I fucking hope you like Taylor Swift.
well, I'm sure
I'm
they
sure
turned
they
it off
stop
by
listening.
now.
Yeah, if they don't.
So tell us like all the little ins and outs of it. So for me, my personal interpretation of what the nice things are, I think it's Taylor herself because she went into hiding. Like we didn't get anything out of her last year. So that's why we can't have nice
I
things.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
a-
like that
yeah.
interpretation of it
that's
too.
very sweet.
I didn't even think of
Me
what
either.
the nice things were. I didn't like think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But I thought when I was listening to this song, I just think it's so genius how she's so nostalgic in her writing, and she takes things that like almost like what our parents would say. Like, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yes.
And on New Year's Day, like, I'll be cleaning up bottles with you.
Yeah.
On New Year's Day, like, it just reminds me of something like my mom would say.
It's
and
very
like,
visual.
She
Yeah.
makes it so relatable to like kids like at this age, so young, and I'm like, you're like the Disney version of music.
Yeah,
You really are.
And I love how
Ted.
chanty it is. It's almost like a high school pep rally chant. Ugh, it's so good.
That
And
performance is going to be really
it's gonna be
cool.
so. I hope she does a music video for it because it would be
That's a
so
good
epic.
one to do a music
Because
video
like that
for.
first chorus, it's kind of
Gatsby.
like her. I just picture like her Rhode Island parties when she would invite like her millions of friends over, and like they would have the photographer take their photos, and she would always go like above and beyond, and then all those people that she would invite turned on her, and then she's like, I'm locking the gates, you ain't coming back. Right. And I love it.
Yeah.
Get out my house.
Yeah, and then the second chorus, which is so Kanye, when it's talking about giving him a second chance. She was so happy to be friends again, and then she got stabbed in the back.
Phone call.
Therein lies the issue. Friends will try to trick you,
Yeah.
get you on the phone, and mind twist you.
And then she talks about how he lost a friend,
Yeah.
which is Jay-Z.
yeah,
Right. I know. I picked that
How
one.
did
up,
you
Yeah.
lose
too.
Jay-Z again?
Well, I think it was the whole, like, Kim and Beyonce don't really get along.
And didn't he go on a whole rant on the Pablo tour?
He went on a whole rant about,
Mentioned
and then
it.
he also, on his tilted stage
Yeah.
that she references,
Yeah.
Look What You Made Me Do, he did go on a rant right before he was, like, hospitalized.
Oh, okay.
And he called out Jay-Z, too.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I think this all goes back to also Kim being friends with Rachel Roy, which the whole elevator incident
yeah.
was over. Becky with the nice hair
Okay, yeah.
is Rachel Roy, I think.
Well, there you go.
Anyways, I love New Year's Day. I want more music like New Year's Day. I also want Taylor Swift to do a Christmas album. So Taylor, if you're listening,
Yeah.
I think
She has a couple
She
I
has-
think I know, but I think she should do a whole album of like her own written. I think we need new Christmas music, guys. Like it's
Oh,
so
yeah, it's
weird that
been
we've
a
been
long
listening to
time.
songs
There's a
from like
Hanson Christmas album. There's a lot of originals on it.
on Hanson.
Yeah, it just
All right.
came out.
I got to listen to those. But yeah, I really think she should do that. But did you guys watch her perform it on the Tonight Show last night?
Oh yeah.
Did you
It was
see what
so
she
good.
did?
No.
So Jimmy Fallon's mom died.
Yeah,
And so he
that's
canceled the
what she
Tonight
did.
Show all last week. So there were no Tonight Shows last
Right.
week. So last night was his first night back. The producers reached out to Taylor because they knew she was in town for SNL.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, would you come perform? Because they knew it was like it was going to be emotional. And Taylor said yes. Like she totally didn't have to. It was totally last minute on a whim. She wore a casual ass sweatshirt that you can get from like Target and sang New Year's Day on the piano. But what was so crazy about it is in Jimmy's opening monologue, he talks about how he's like almost in tears. And he's like, my mom used to squeeze my hand 3 times and say, I love you. And I would say, I love you back. And then when Taylor sang New Year's Day, she says, squeeze my hand 3
Yeah,
times in
right.
the back of the taxi. And everyone lost it and said that you could see Jimmy like in the
Oh my
background, just
God.
like the band, the Roots. Like if you guys look up these tweets, everyone tweeted that she just did it. Like she pretty much did it for Jimmy.
So
And it
she
was
wasn't
so
planning on
nice.
coming on
No,
Tonight
they
Show?
She
just
was in
asked
plan.
her.
They just asked her, and she was like,
And
"Of
she just
course."
happened to have
She's like,
those
"Of course,
lyrics.
I'll be there."
Yeah, because she was at her album release party like earlier.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is a piano for that song.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Amazing.
on that note, I want to, before
was
we
emotional.
leave, read to you out loud the Red introduction, the prologue.
Wait, I
All
don't
right.
want to leave yet because I want to know what's going down in this poetry thing that no one
Oh,
has.
yeah.
I feel like
Poetry
that's like the
side.
good tidbits.
Okay,
but
so
after
then,
you,
okay, should I read this first?
Yeah.
Intro into that? Okay. All right, there's an old poem by Neredu, that's what I'm going to say, that has always been, I've always been captivated by, and one of the lines in it has stuck with me ever since the first time I read it. It says, love is so short, forgetting is so long. It's a line that I've related to in my saddest moments when I needed to know someone else had felt the exact way. And when we're trying to move on, the moments that we always go back to aren't the mundane ones. They're the moments that we saw sparks that weren't really there, felt stars aligning without having any proof, saw your future before it happened, and then saw it slip away without any warning. These are moments of newfound hope, extreme joy, intense passion, wishful thinking, in some cases the unthinkable letdown. In my mind, every one of these memories looks the same to me. I see all the moments in bright, burning red. My experiences in love have taught me difficult lessons, especially my relationships with crazy love. the red relationships, the ones that went from 0 to 100 miles per hour and then hit a wall and exploded. It was awful and ridiculous and desperate and thrilling. And when the dust settled, it was something that I'd never take back, because there is something to be said for being young and needing someone so badly you jump in head first without looking. And there's something to be learned from waiting all day for a train that's never going to come. And there's realizing, and there's something to be proud of about moving on and realizing that real love shines golden like starlight and doesn't fade or spontaneously combust. Maybe I'll write a whole album. Maybe I'll write a whole album about that kind of love.
Oh, she did.
I ever find it. But this album is about the other kinds of love that I've recently fallen in and out of. Love that was treacherous, sad, beautiful, and tragic. And most of all, this record is about love that was red.
Yeah, Red's
Wow.
That was so...
I forgot how good
You
that
guys
was.
reminded me how good Red was.
I think I'm going to read that in the beginning of Heartbroken Anonymous meetings. That was
That's so good.
That was so perfect, Ashley.
It's so good.
And she did write a song about
She
the love she
did.
has.
No, there
See,
we go.
I'm
It's all full circle. Just came together.
I'm forever living in Red.
Me too.
I'm still in my
Yeah.
Red album.
I know.
Yeah.
I like to pretend I'm in a Reputation, but I'm stuck in Red. It's so sad.
Reputation scares me though, because I'm I hope her and Joe never break up.
I know.
But if she did, we
get
probably have
another Red.
amazing
We get
music.
another
But
Red. But it's
That's
just so
funny.
funny because she always, in a lot of the songs in Reputation, she literally describes the love as golden.
Yeah.
There's 3 times where she
golden tattoo.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's
yeah.
3 times where she mentions things like being gold, and I'm just
And even in New Year's Day, she's like, "We're in it for the long haul." Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't read the last page. I like that part.
Oh, actually,
What does that mean?
More secret session stuff about the last
Ooh.
song. Basically, there was a moment where Taylor was just listen, this just isn't going to work. Obviously, she was ready to. She wanted him to just walk away, and
With
then
Joe?
Joe, yeah, and then he didn't leave. He was no, I'm going to stay. We're going to get through it. We're going to work it out.
Oh, wow.
And
So
then
it was him.
Yeah.
She's speaking in his voice.
So that's why I'm just oh.
She
It's just
found it, guys.
the
She found
the person who
love.
would stay. And it's funny because Red stay that's what she wanted. She gets mad, she gets in a fight, she tells him to leave, and then he stays.
Let's talk
Wow.
about the lyrics of Delicate for a second, just because I think that leads into it. Because she's is it cool that I'm in your head, that you're in my head?
Is it chill that I said all that? And I'm
Yeah.
just that's me when I meet a guy. It's living in that gray area
Yeah.
where everything's so delicate. You don't want to mess anything
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And I love it, what the first chorus is where you at? My phone lights up the nightstand in the back. It's that.
I love it.
It's so good.
I
It's
love
that
it.
that text to hey, what are you doing? Come over. And I'm just
Oh, it's
where
so
are you?
good.
Yeah.
It's so
it's
good.
so that perfect. It's that perfect stage in a relationship, in that gray area.
When
where
she
it's
says my
yeah.
reputation's in bad, so it means you like me for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And how they met at the bar.
Yeah. Wait, where are they meeting? Where are they meeting? Sneaking around New York, at these bars?
Yeah. On the west side.
Yeah.
They met in the back, though,
No,
right?
it was the east side. They met at the bar on the east side,
Yeah.
then they went to the apartment on the
Yeah.
west side.
Oh, part
Yeah.
of the
'Cause
west
she lives on the
side.
west
Got
side,
it.
right? I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like you know that.
She
I know.
lives near
I don't know
Greenwich
New York,
Village,
yeah.
I think. She lives near Greenwich.
Or her old. She moved. Her old.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, she secretly moved?
She did. It's when all those boxes came out and people thought she was in the box.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, Oscar, so since you've read this magazine that comes out
yeah.
with
I wish I had the copy with me.
can
but
you just give us overall insight on some lines or some things that you found very dark? Because
yeah.
you keep saying it was
So
really dark.
She has 2 different poems, a poem in each version of the magazine, and then one of them is one of them talks about how there was a quote about you're going to learn to. It's basically a poem to herself. She's like, you're going to want to fill the empty seats from your childhood lunch tables with all these friends, but you're never going to be able to fill them. So basically,
wow.
describing the whole squad mentality that she just felt like such a loser for so long. So that's why she loves having all these friends. And I was just and she talked
but
about.
then they turned on her.
I know, that's the sad part. And then she said, you're going to learn to love your thighs. And that kind of explains how she's more comfortable with gaining weight and just
she doesn't have my thighs.
well, for her, this is because she was so teeny before.
Yeah, she was really, really small before.
And then it's just talking about how she's going to find that love that finally makes her comfortable. And then And it was just like, I wish I had the whole thing, but because it was so like, it made me like so sad to know that she went through all this, because it was just basically talking about how alone she felt, how much she like, there's like a lot of like self-loathing with her that she had like overcome the past few years. And then the other one was similar, where it was basically like this whole moment where she felt completely ruined and like her reputation was trashed. And she describes like how it felt just like being out at sea and just feeling like, you know, you're just ready to give up. But then she had like this moment of telling herself like, no, you can't give up, like you have to fight. And then after that moment, like when she finally said, okay, like I'm gonna fight, and then started working on reputation, basically she found Joe, and like she found someone who kind of like helped heal everything again. And so, which is kind of, it's like shows her maturity too, because she didn't need the guy to heal, like she healed herself, and then the guy came along with it. And I think that's
the life
why,
lesson we
I
all
know.
You're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Once
gotta
you
be
accept
happy on your
yourself,
own,
then
guys.
do it.
It's just,
or once you're happy on your own, yeah.
and it goes back to like the King of My Heart. It's just the end of all the endings.
I
Like
love
broken
King
bones
of
are
My
mending.
Heart.
I
Me
like that one from the first
It's
listen.
such a good
So
song.
good.
Well, it was one of those albums for me that like I listened to it the first time and I was like, I like every one of these songs. You know how sometimes even with your favorite artists, you listen to it the first time around and you go, okay, I like it,
Yeah.
but like I have to listen to it a couple more times. Like what I love about Taylor albums is that you like them almost immediately. What's interesting is Red, I remember not loving immediately. I thought was monotonous. But then I was like, no, a couple times over. Because then you really start to appreciate each lyric with each listen.
Yeah. Definitely have to listen to everything way more than once.
Yeah,
To like
even
really
Reputation
feel
took
it.
me like, I liked it, but then once I started listening to it a few times, then I'm like, oh, I really, really, really like it.
Yeah. What's funny is like in my own personal relationship with Taylor Swift, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, is that as much as I like the songs on 1989, it doesn't represent an era to me in my own life. It doesn't but Speak Now and the other, and then Red and even Fearless, like those are more nostalgic for me than 1989.
1989 was right before you went to The Bachelor, so
It would happen. I got it. It came out the week after I got back.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a couple songs on there for sure. Actually, I'm motherfucking hooker.
The thing about-
they all mean something
Yeah,
to me.
I was gonna say the thing about like when I was so heartbroken, like fell into acute depression, like this time last year and beginning of this year. Clean really got me through every like when when I was finally starting to get over it, I would just listen to Clean because I would get nightmares about this guy. Like you have like nightmares about them, and I would
Clean, like forces you to get over it.
Yeah, I like kept listening to it before I would go to bed, and I remember instead of thinking about him, I would just try and like listen to Clean before I went to bed every night. And it's just, I mean, only Taylor music can do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's funny for me, like I feel like each era of her music I've grown up with, just because like the first album was about like being a loser in high school, like I would listen to that on the way, like my mom dropped me off from school. And then Fearless is when you start like getting feelings and start liking people, but then realizing like none of it matters because you're just gonna get heartbroken anyway. And then Speak Now is just learning to like raise your voice and you're figuring out who you are and where you fit in. And then you have Red, which is about like that's when like my like big heartbreak coincided was like with Red, which is perfect.
Red is about heartbreak,
yeah,
in and out
that's
of love.
just like and like that journey of healing and trying to figure out who you are after a relationship. And then 1989 is like that. She lost him and found herself, and somehow that was everything. Like
Right.
that's
Out of the
that
woods.
whole which is really that was 1989 was when I was like, okay, like I'm gonna just focus on my friends. I'm gonna just do whatever I want.
Shake
and then,
it off.
Yeah, and just like figure it out. And I like would just rely on that quote all the time. She lost him but found herself. So I was like, okay, focus on it. And then now with Reputation, it's like this. It's like confident. It's like she just doesn't. I feel like she doesn't care as much as far as like.
I think she
pleasing
stopped
everyone.
caring. She's just like, this is who I am.
Like she wants to make good music. She wants like critics to like it. She wants the fans to like it. But as far as like appealing to everyone in the world, like I feel like she's just over it. She doesn't want that pressure anymore, and that's why I'm just like. She wants to fucking wear sweatshirts and no pants and just like sing songs. And I think that's
Oscar,
iconic.
do you think that we have just happened to be around the same age as Taylor growing up? Or do you think that we make our life reflect art?
I think both, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I'm like, I don't know how to process emotions without Taylor Swift albums. I think that's
Me
why
too.
in
Yeah,
like
it
the
definitely
drought
helps.
between like Reputation where I was just like I just didn't know what to do. I think I was like I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, I'm going through all this new stuff, but I need Taylor to tell me how to feel about it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm like,
She
what do I
definitely
do?
helps you process emotions.
Yeah.
I think when I started listening to Red, I started going into like a different, just a different thought process of what I was going through.
Yeah.
And making you feel like actually one day you can get done with it. You can get like rid of yourself of those feelings. But that would have been clean and blah, blah, blah.
Well, now that Taylor found a guy, I hope we do too.
yeah, same.
This
Perfect
year.
way to end that. Yeah.
But it gives me hope though, because it took her like she had to go through a lot. She's a little bit older, so it's like, okay, like if she can get through. Basically, I'm like, okay, I feel like I went through my hair. I feel like I went through my Jake. I feel like I went through my Harry. I still have to go through my Calvin and Tom though before I get to my Joe.
That's a bit.
See, we do
So-
that, but with Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh,
But-
if I related everything to Taylor's exes, then I'd have a long way to come.
Long way. All right, guys. Well, Oscar, thank you so much for being here.
thank
it's
you for
seriously
Thank
such
you
an
so much.
honor.
So
I mean,
fun.
Taylor
Wow. So
loves
great.
you.
I'm a
We
music
love you.
critic now, you guys.
Yeah,
like,
I
this is
know.
serious.
You really are. It's
I hope we
crazy.
made her proud today.
And we hope you guys enjoyed.
Lauren ratted her out for the
I
Maddie
know.
Healy thing.
I have no part of that.
Ratted
I'm
who out?
removing myself from that narrative.
Ratted Taylor out?
Yeah.
It was fucking well known. He wrote a song about it.
What
song?
Allow me.
Just when we thought we were done.
I do remember when she wore the 1975 shirt, and it was like he talked
Did
about
everyone
dating.
freak out?
He talked about later how like they were talking, and then he like
Oscar,
freaked
while
out.
Lauren's looking that up, what the fuck are we going to do to get to the Rose Bowl? Because I've been trying to boost my place in line.
I'm 22% away. I'm still so far.
What do you mean?
It's called it's a change of heart, and
Oh, yeah.
it's change of heart. It's all about Taylor. I'm not exploiting
I've never
anything.
listened to it, so I got to.
Well, that's a great album too.
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe it wasn't. A
Can I say
headline
one more
after all.
thing?
Yeah.
Since you mentioned Taylor eating lunch alone, and I'm sure we've all had struggles in high school or whatever eating lunch alone. There's this new app that was created like a month ago. It's called Sit With Us, and I don't know if our near listeners are in high school, but I think it's so great. You like go on this app and you can honestly find someone to sit with at lunch.
I read an article
so
about the kids that the
cute.
high schoolers started this app,
yeah,
right?
high schoolers started
So
this app, and I'm like,
genius.
it is the cutest idea. So if you need someone to sit with,
Cute.
download Sit With Us.
I
Oh,
love
that's
it.
such a nice idea.
I love
love
that.
it.
All right.
That's
All
great.
right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for
Please
listening.
subscribe. We love you. Let us know what you guys think about Reputation. So tweet us.
Tweet, tweet,
Their
tweet.
reputation.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Podcast.